That's right, I went to Japan. I meant to go a couple years back, but there's just a little flu going around, so couldn't. It was a whole lot of fun, but hey, I know what you guys are here for, so I'm going to be talking about a little game called WIXOSS and my experiences with it in Japan. So of course, I had to hit up all the different card shops that were around. There were so many. I bought a ton of sleeves and a bunch of different card games that were not WIXOSS as well that I'll be making a video about. But this one I'm going to be focusing on the different WIXOSS places that I went to. The main shop was Cardon in Akihabara. I got to meet up with a Twitter mutual who ended up working there, who helped me way out getting a bunch of Tama stuff. Super excited, really cool guy. If you're ever in Akihabara, definitely check it out. Besides the metric ton of mats and cards that I got for my All-Star deck that I'll be talking about in a minute, I also got this canvas print that is super rare. I've never seen it before, as well as this shirt and a couple other shirts that are WIXOSS related. Very awesome. They get new items in all the time. Definitely recommend checking them out. Of course, I had to pick up a ton of different playmats, as much Tama as I could. Also picked up a Battle Spirits one. I thought it'd be funny because it's definitely different from the way that American English release of the game is branding itself. While I was running around Akihabara, I was with some Twitter mutuals and they were showing me all over. Went to Cardon, I went to Dragon Star, Hobby Max, Blue Submarine, so many different card shops. They all kind of started to blur together, and I probably wouldn't have found half of them if I wasn't with locals. So I definitely recommend pre-planning if you're going to be looking for different card shops, because some of them are super hidden, man. And some not so much, like this Blue Eyes Ultimate, I kind of regret not buying. I was just going to get the Valentine's Day promos of Tama, they were like 200 or 300 yen, but I saw that Cardon had all of these completely sealed for 100 yen each, so I just bought whatever amount this is, like 30, something like that. Thought it'd be fun to open them. Also, they smell like chocolate. They straight up just smell like really good chocolate. It's kind of nuts. Really hoping the English version get these as well. The crazy promos and whatnot that WIXOSS does between these and the bath towel promos, I don't know who's in charge of deciding to do these things, but they need a promotion because they need to keep doing crazy stuff like this for their promos. I'm not going to pretend that I actually pay attention to every single release of these, so I wasn't actually sure when I was opening these which exact girls that we would actually see. I knew that Tama was there, so I was pretty happy when I saw like Iona. I do like her as well, especially the white version that's coming out. I think it's really cool, the color switch. But of course, this is what I was looking for, which was the new black or dark Tama, whatever you want to call her. Super cute. I love how it mirrors the original Valentine's Day pose for her. So, I was hoping to open up a bunch more of them. Not gonna, show slow-mo of every single one of these openings because I got way too many. About halfway through, I was like, what am I even doing? Ended up giving away a lot of these. Probably will give some more away to different people like the girls. I mean, they're like 75 cents each, $2, whatever. So I just wanted to get them for fun. Maybe give them for prizes or something at locals. But I did end up with a metric ton of them. And by the end, my little room there smelled entirely like chocolate. Small pluses, right? And I did open roughly the same amount of each one. So I guess it's just even distribution. And talking about running around card shops, one of the main reasons was I was actually looking to build a All-Star Mayu deck. All-Star is, I guess if you play Magic, it's like the legacy for WIXOSS. I don't know how popular it is, but there is actually a pretty active player base in America, surprisingly. They play on like webcam and whatnot, and 2 people from my local started playing, and I was like, well, I've held off on building this long enough. Might as well pick up the stuff here while I have 2 people who know about the deck and, what it needs and what I should look for. Really tried, found almost everything. Really pretty cards. Don't know how to play it yet. Gonna be dealing with that later, I guess. Here, just kind of showing off the Lurig deck because I did want to pick up the Max Rare Mayus that I didn't own. I had these sleeves already. I do like Mayu since she is is Tama, I guess, Tama and spoiler alert. But either way, I especially love this art. Dark Cognate. And the last 2 are the Mayos that I was not sure I was going to use over the other ones, but I got these pretty silly sleeves here that are like, tentacles. I don't really have a use for them, but they're something, I'll say that much. So I had to put them in here on the certain cards, but I'm going to be using that as my main level 5 because it is the prettiest, like, just shiny gold signatures. Who doesn't love that, And of course, I had to make sure my sleeves matched each card in the loaded deck. Kind of moving on to the main deck, I took this list off of the All-Star deck lists that a guy named Starfruit on Twitter and Discord uses to promote playing All-Star. Still haven't played it. I actually did pick up a second one of those. It is kind of like an Angel Tribal, I think, looking at the list. And it does run some Diva cards, which I thought was pretty interesting, which I might actually replace with the English ones, just so I have a truly, truly monster of a list here. Just very confusing to look at. Hey, I love Angel Tribal. I'm going to go with it. Of course, I could not find the Japanese Tama servants. I looked everywhere for them, but couldn't find them, which is pretty sad to me. I don't know why. I went to like 20 stores, but you know, at least I finished the deck, so I'm excited to learn and play it because, hey, more WIXOSS. And heading on back to Akihabara, where I met up with Laku here, who is a big fan of a certain Lurig Izuku. Actually heading on over to Cardon, where we played a couple of games. I would say that they let me win pretty squared because I definitely should not have won that game according to another buddy who was there. So thank you, Laku, for making me feel like I could actually win. After running around a couple more card shops where Laku seemed to know everyone, and a little bit of translation help from my other friends who were there, we ended up basically going to a maid cafe. Now, it wasn't our intention to drag Laku to a maid cafe. However, because of a miscommunication, they ended up going with us. And you know what? It was actually a really cool time. Everyone ended up enjoying it. We got the cheapest commissions I've ever had, actually, which would be these really cute little drawings on top of the drinks. You know what? Screw it. I'd go back. Now, she actually got me a ton of gifts, including this mat. If you want to check out her stuff, here is her business card. I was just floored with all the cool stuff that she and some other mutuals had given me, including this hand-drawn Shinka board featuring Tama and Sakura. Just amazing looking. This is like a special card case. There's a bunch of them that are out in Japan. We'll be getting them eventually, hopefully, of all the different rigs. It's essentially like a little top loader for cards. Really cool for collector's sake because it is like that full art that you don't really get. They had given me these previously, which are fan-made cards of Tama and Mayo level 0s. Super, super cute. As well as this line of Tamas that I had never actually seen before. I think they're giving out at an event really early on. Really, really cool. Just, again, if I hadn't seen it after so long, I mean, that means they're rare to me. Super cool of her. Definitely go and give her a follow. I know she does VTubing. I also got this little package from another mutual that you can see on the bottom left with these really cool acrylic items that you don't really see that often. And I'd never even seen one of them, which is this third one here, and I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I don't really see a lot of fan-made stuff for WIXOSS in general. Like this button here, I actually own a couple mats from the person who drew this, but I didn't even know this button existed, you know? And then, like, this really neat little acrylic stand. I love this. These are awesome. So I actually got these little cases for acrylic items in Japan because when I got these, I was like, I need to keep these safe. And it's just some sleeves for my acrylics, basically, like this long boy here. The next package of items that I got from her was from a Twitter mutual called Superbike. I've been following them for forever because of their Tama doodles and drawings that they gave me a stack of that I'm going to be showing. Super, super cool. Also, a bunch of really rare items I'm going to be showing off, including this Tama towel that I've been looking for forever, as well as this event shirt. I really love collecting these kind of really niche and rare items. So this was super cool to have in my collection. Where am I going to find this? You know what I mean? And then there's a stack of clear files that was a prize in a lottery back when Selector, I think this was from Spread, was airing. You can get those different variations. And if you don't know what clear files are, they're basically little file holders for any kind of papers or, I don't know, anything you want to store in there. I don't think people actually typically use them for that. Personally, I use them for a couple of postcards and other things that I have lying around that are WIXOSS related when I have these kind of items, just to keep them safe. And it's all kind of together there. Mostly it's this kind of art that you usually can't find anywhere else, especially when a show first comes out, that are on these, and until, of course, the artist puts them up where people scan them. But really cool to have. And moving along to another item that I have not seen in a long time is this kind of book. I think it was given out for free for when the Destructed movie came out. You can see it has this little whole section about the movie and how it relates to the card game. as well as an entire kind of strategy guide for how to play the deck and what to do and what you should be doing. And they come with a promo in this little envelope here, and it's sealed, which means that this gift was completely brand new, which is just really sweet. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm pulling this out for now, but you can kind of see the different light novels and art books that were available at the time that this came out. And that is the book. However, the main part of it is this cut out deck. So if you wanted your friend to play, but they didn't want to buy the cards, or you just didn't have enough to put a whole deck together, you could just cut this out, put them in some sleeves, teach people how to play, no cost to them, get them addicted to the crack in the pack, and that's a great way to get people into games. I think more games should do this. It's not really taking away from getting anyone into buying packs. If anything, it's getting them to buy more packs. I think it's super cool. I love it. And something I have never actually seen before, which is inside this envelope, are these photographs. They are printed on a photograph paper, really, really high def, have the exact feel of a photograph. I've never seen these. I'm not actually sure where they came from. I know that 7-Elevens and that kind of thing in Japan sometimes have crossovers where you can print out pictures that you find online, especially like when movies or new shows come out, which I think is what these are. I will probably put these in a photo book or frame them just because I've literally never seen these to the point where I didn't know they existed, which for me is kind of a big deal because I feel like at this point I've at least come across every rare item that WIXOSS has shown or had, and some that are just, obviously fan-made. So when something like this pops up where I didn't even know it exists, really blew my mind. And speaking of really niche items that didn't exist, here's a pamphlet for the summer store for WIXOSS. I did not, ever see this or get it. It has a bunch of, fan-made art on the back, and I think things that people had set up, like little booths. I have the shirt that I showed earlier, which was that orange shirt that was from this event, for event staff, I believe. And this is just, looking at these little drawings very much brought me back to, like, people's tweets and art that I'd found on different blogs and stuff back in, like, God, now, like 2016, 2014, whatever it was. And it's just really cool to look through this. Definitely a piece of WIXOSS history. I definitely can tell that Superbike Goes by Tetris knew exactly what kind of WIXOSS fan I am. Love this to death. And on the back is the event information and where different people were set up and all that kind of good stuff. And there were these fan books, which I had never seen before. I know these kind of content gets made, but honestly finding them on the secondary market is usually pretty much impossible for these more kind of niche series. So I was super excited looking through these. This one was really cute. I love all these little chibi drawings, and going through here I found some that I really liked. Of course, because they're Tama, look how cute those are. And Tama with a, let's get to it. The Tama with a knife about to stab you. Love looking through these little drawings. I hope that there's more out there. Because, look how cute that is, little bunny Tama. The final Jujutsu fan book is this one that has Remember on the back. See some little cute comics from Infected and WIXOSS with, Iona there. You also have the best villain. Really love this face, how it was drawn. And, these little comics. But yeah, those are the 3 fan books. And then we got something real special here, which is the actual scripts from episodes 10 and 11 of Selector Infected WIXOSS. I have no idea how they got these. These don't really show up that often. I was super blown away that they were kind enough to give these to me. I would have paid buco bucks for these. I would really love to eventually have all of them. I'm blown away. I don't even know how they found these. So, I'm sure that searching around and being a fan for a long time, but super glad to have these in my collection. Amazing, amazing stuff. Really, thank you, Tetris. Amazing. They also hand drew me this, which crazy how good and talented they are. I did follow them for their art mostly. Been using it as my profile picture for a while. Had to give it the special treatment. I actually have it on my Tama display case right now. It's very special to me. Handmade for me. It says Forever with Tama. Really, really appreciate it. And here you go. My 2 hand-drawn drawings from Laku and Tetris, as well as my little shrine. And just to quickly go through the drawings that they gave me, this little on a bear, very cute. And as stated, I've been following this guy on Twitter for a long time, and I always like and comment on their drawings that they do. They do little doodles of Tama that they post, and they gave me this entire stack of their original art. I went through each one when Laku gave it to me. Really probably the coolest thing anyone could have given me. Just this entire hand-drawn drawings they've been doing for years. I can't even begin to express the gratitude I felt for the shared love of Tama and WIXOSS. They're also just such an excellent artist. I commend them for sticking with drawing Tama for all these years. Makes me wish I could draw her better as well. Just so cute, the expressions, the poses, everything. I love it so much. This is their Twitter handle again, so if you like this art, please go give them a follow. Encourage them to keep drawing Tama. Everyone loves to hear that, you know? And that pretty much wraps up that section, so going into the final bit, I'll start with this opening sequence.
Oh, it's like drugs?
It's better than drugs, Jeremy.
It's from Japan!
And yes, that was me using Mount Fuji to promote WIXOSS. Here's just a bunch of photos that I took while I was in Japan with Tama, you know, doing the touristy stuff, of course. And before I knew it, my trip was over. Did a bunch of really interesting stuff, got to see a bunch of different places that I'd wanted to go to for a long time and meet up with some friends that I never thought I'd actually get to meet. The trip overall was absolutely amazing. I mean, I've said that word a lot this video, but hey, it is what it is. So I headed on home. And for those of you selectors who are managed to get in, I will see you at the Vegas GP for WIXOSS. The very first GP. It is almost sold out at making this video with only 2 spaces left, so hope to see you there, selector.